You are listening to Carrie on Campus, Book 7 in the Stand-Up, Lie Down collection. Written by Chastity Veldt. Narrated by Ken B. Erotic. Published by Horsemen Publishing Incorporated. Copyright Chastity Veldt and 2021. All rights reserved. Chapter 1. Welcome to Abraxus Tasker College, read the formal-looking sign with raised letters on a steel background supported between two brick bases. Jake Nilsen drove his truck past the sign that marked the official entrance to Abraxus Tasker College and welcomed him to the seats of higher learning. "What's the deal with the XTC Comedy Weekend?" read a 20-foot vinyl banner stretched across the main street. Jake rolled his eyes at the tired old comics phrase and hoped they were using it ironically. Get Allie Whip's XTC Erotica books from Horsemen Publishing on Amazon. Read a spray-painted bedsheet hastily yanked into place by book-loving hooligans and ne'er-do-wells. Jake thought, wait, am I in some kind of crossover? No, that's weird, said the author. Just focus on your driving. Jake decided that sounded weird, and he focused on his driving. His GPS told him to make his final turn into the visitor parking next to the XTC Student Center, and the signs directed him to the check-in. A few minutes later, he was at the registration table. On this Tuesday morning, Jake was in town for the Abraxus Tasker Comedy Conference and Festival, a 5-day, comedy conference and festival where young comics from around the country could perform sets in the evening at different venues around campus, as well as take workshops on comedy writing, improv, performing, and the business of comedy. Jake had been contacted by his agent, telling him the Abraxus Tasker organizers had specifically asked for him and a few other comics to attend to teach some workshops and perform a set or two on Saturday night. He managed to arrive in town the day before the conference started because he wanted to relax and recover from his gig in Birmingham. The festival was one of the leading college comedy conferences in the country. Jake had originally attended many years ago when he first started learning comedy during his college years. It felt weird to be coming back as an instructor and performer nearly 8 years later. A lot had changed for Jake since then. He had been a swimmer on the University of Minnesota swim team and had nearly earned a spot on the U.S. Olympic team, but missed it by 0.2 of a second. After he graduated, he threw himself into comedy and improv, living off some smart real estate investments he had made while he was still an undergraduate, buying up dilapidated houses, fixing them up, and renting them to college students. With a real estate portfolio of nearly 20 rentals, as well as some car washes in Miami that he'd never seen, he wasn't quite rich, but he could see rich from his house. He continued swimming and working out, making sure he stayed in shape. Jake had toyed with the idea of making a comeback, but was having too much fun as a stand-up comic. Maybe in another year, he thought. Jake had been performing stand-up comedy professionally for 5 years and was actually able to live on his earnings from comedy, even as his investments continued to grow and pile up. His former U of M teammate, Alan Johansson, was now his wealth advisor, and he continued to grow Jake's investments to nearly 7 figures. "Hi, I'm Jake Nilsen. I'm here to check in for the festival." The young man sitting behind the table looked up. "Hi, I'm Justin Cooper." He clattered a few keys on his laptop. "Let's see, you've got your own check-in station down there." "Really?" said Jake. "Why?" Justin just held up his hands and shrugged. His muscular arms filled out a Stallions football t-shirt, arms that looked like they were capable of holding a tall redhead upside down for several minutes, and said, "Sorry, I'm just filling in a friend. Filling in for a friend. I really wasn't supposed to be here today." Jake thanked him and walked over to the other end of the row of tables and found a blonde co-ed with a bright smile. Her name tag said, Cherie. "Cherry?" asked Jake. "No, not since my it rhymes with sherry," said Cherie, looking Jake up and down and liking what she saw. "I'm Jake Nilsen." "Nilsen?" said Cherie, looking down at her laptop. "No, Nilsen." "Ah, here you are," said Cherie. "Welcome to our fair city of—" She was interrupted when a table of steel travel coffee mugs collapsed. "Sorry about that. That's the second time that's happened today. Anyway, you're our VIP talent." She waved her hand at a small plate of jalapeno poppers. "Would you like a popper?" No, thank you." "What do you mean I'm your VIP talent?" asked Jake. "You're the headliner for the main night in the Pickles venue. Plus you're one of the celebrities."
Sample complete. Ready to continue?